The Bamboo Project Podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast. My name is DonivanGray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided that I am going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself. And not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every single day and documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is DonivanGray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. We have been making videos for the last 5 years documenting our life, and you can find all of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 4, page 200. So we are 6 weeks away from chapter 5. That chapter might be called the e-com chapter. Last year, the chapter was called brick and mortar. This chapter will be called e-com, okay? But for all of y'all who are new, okay, if y'all don't know, we start every single podcast with screen time. And I say if you are not taking advantage of your phone, then your phone is taking advantage of you. And my phone been... Listen, today's date is Friday, January 26th, and it's 7:11 p.m., which y'all know we don't do late podcasts, but I'll explain that as the podcast goes on. All right, now let's get into the screen time. For the entire week, I spent an average of 7 hours and 14 minutes on my phone every single day, which is honestly is killing me. I have realized that this is not acceptable and I have to change. Okay, this is bad. I've been like working through it, but I'm starting to realize that something has to be done. So I will be making changes for the upcoming weeks. Okay, today is my first day making that change, and as you can see if you're watching the video, which I mean I haven't posted the audio in a long time, so I might get back on doing that, is not good. It's lower than it was last week, but today I only spent 3 hours and 57 minutes on my phone for the entire day.
Wow,
think about that. Big feat. That's less than 4 hours for the entire day. Right now, just seeing that number to me is crazy. Just seeing that number, for the simple fact that I've been wondering, like, what is a realistic amount of time I can spend on my phone as a person doing e-com and stuff like that? And obviously it's not that much. So any time that my phone has said 8.5, 9 hours or whatever, shit, it was crazy. Shouldn't have said that. But again, it's a work in progress. I know what I did today to help that. Melissa also was not in the house, so that could have helped. I don't know, but we will see going forward. I know a couple things, and it could have been lower, to be honest with you. And that's the scary part about it, if we're being completely honest, okay? So my most used app was YouTube. Oh, no, that was just for today. Hold on. My most used app for the whole week was X, or Twitter, which was for 11 hours and 28 minutes. Then YouTube for 10 hours and 54 minutes. And then Instagram for 3 hours and 55 minutes. All right. And then I picked up my phone on average 115 times a day, which has to be some kind of addiction. My first used app after pickup was YouTube, then messages, then mail. And on average, I get about 40 notifications a day. All right, baby girl, what was your screen time like this week?
So for me, this week I spent on average 7 hours and 26 minutes on my phone, which is down 25% from the week prior. My first most used app was Instagram for 9 hours. I didn't even know how that's possible. Then TikTok for 6 hours. Monopoly Go for 4.5 hours. Music for 3.5. Messages for 3.5. I picked up my phone on average 119 times a day. My first most used app is Messages, then Gmail, then Instagram, then Monopoly Go.
Okay, now guys, for the subscriber check, and I'm real excited for this one, okay? Because we've been posting videos, posting content, we've been doing the shorts, everything, right? And we had the last video, listen guys, oh my God, okay. This is our best vlog that we've ever posted, right? And I don't mean it content wise. In terms of the analytics, this is our #1 vlog, right? It is not the most exciting vlog that we've ever had. It is not the craziest vlog. It's not the saddest vlog. It might not even be the happiest vlog. To me, it's a regular vlog, right? We did get $15,000 deposited into our account. We had won the money from before, right? So the crazy thing about this is that when I made that video, I titled it a certain way, obviously, but the thumbnail, we don't really put much into our thumbnails because of the time that it requires to do it, and we've had success without having to do that. However, I do understand that having better thumbnails will have better videos. Now, one thing that we learned when we first started doing YouTube was that good pictures aren't good thumbnails. So if I take a picture that's like the highest quality picture of a beautiful sunset, and there's a horse riding through with a man on top, and he's holding a woman with a rose in his mouth, and they holding a puppy and a baby, like, it's a beautiful picture, right? It don't translate to people clicking on it. It don't, especially the title says how to use a screwdriver. So the last thumbnail that we did was a YouTube type thumbnail, right? It was very specific to what the video was about. It had Melissa's face in it. She's a beautiful black woman with natural hair. It had the outside. It had she's active and about, and then it had the phone that of me showing how much money we made, how much money deposited to the account, right? Now, I learned something from that video, from that image, right? So that picture of my hand in that thumbnail is actually from the video. So I just kind of cropped it and put it in there. But with the Photoshop AI generative fill thing, because of how I had to move all the pictures around, there was a lot of white space. So that picture when it had the white space, I had to use the generative fill and create its own image, okay? So if you look really closely, like, part of the buildings that are there were not actually there. Part of my hand that was there is not actually there. Part of the phone, if you look really close, it's not actually there. It's not really part of the phone, but it looks so close that you couldn't really tell by skimming through it. But it makes for a good thumbnail, right? So now let me get to the numbers for the YouTube channel. So to that video right now is currently at, I'll tell you guys right now, at 1,500 views in 4 days, okay, with 70 likes. Now, it got us about 20 subscribers, and we posted that video on Monday. So from Monday to today, that video alone got us 20 subscribers. 20, that one video. So we are currently sitting at 842 subscribers on the channel. We need 158 more subscribers to get monetized. I think the way we're going, we can hit that before the end of February, especially if we decide to just put some videos out that are like, I don't know what to call them, like thirst traps for subscribers. Like, if we put out a how to make 100K video, that would probably get us subscribers. If we put a how to sell at a craft fair video, that would probably get subscribers too. If we put how to do grants and stuff, that might get subscribers too. Like, things like that will get us subscribers. If we put how to make candles or things like that will get us subscribers. But we don't. That's not what we're trying to do. So we're not trying to do that. But we might. But we're just not doing that now. So we are at 842 subscribers on this channel. In the last 28 days, we got 86 subscribers. And we've been posting shorts, which I've been doing fairly well as well. Now, on our main channel, we are at 6,717 subscribers. Okay? So that's where we're at. But that is pretty much it. Let's get to the podcast. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a great Sunday evening. Hope your week was pretty good. This morning was a rough morning. Honestly, the last 2 days were pretty rough. Emotions and feelings are a strange thing, man. I'm telling you. But I felt very odd last night and today. Because it's like we're doing a lot of stuff, but I always feel like I could be doing more. But then I feel like when I start to try to do more, my brain shuts off, like from mental fatigue. So then I'm like, okay, I should rest. But then when I rest, my body's like, you could be doing more right now though, because you're resting. You could be doing something else. But I'm like, I know if I get up to do something, I'm gonna fall asleep trying to do it. But my brain is going back and forth between those ideas. So it's always difficult. And then I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like I probably could do a little bit of work. So then I'll do like work for like 10 minutes and I'm like, okay, now I'm tired, and I'll stop. So it's a very weird dichotomy to be managed between resting and working, and even the idea of how much rest should I have versus what I should be doing to get what I want done. And I might have done 3 photo shoots this week, right? Several hour each photo shoots, and I'd be exhausted after them. And I'm like, okay, what should I do after this photo shoot? I'm like, okay, should I go on my laptop? Because it's a lot of our life, if not all of it, pretty much revolves around the laptop. I've been battling with this idea of just how much work should I be, like, what does it feel like to do work? If I optimize my life, then work does not feel hard. So I can never tell like what it should be, because like, for example, if you think about investing, right? Like Warren Buffett, he's probably reading books or reading financial reports to learn, right, about what stocks he wants to buy. But he probably doesn't feel busy. Like, he's just reading. That's it. Like, for the most part, I think. That's what I assume. So how does it feel like, especially when you get to that level of him, where you have the money, you have everything you pretty much need? So it's like, what does the average day feel like? Should you feel like I said, the hustle culture that we have right now, where I feel like it's warranted? I think I can't never tell. It's very hard for me to tell. I can't tell if it's a way that we should be living or that I should be living. If that's what I have to do to get to where I want to get to, I can never really tell. I like to try to figure out what can I do? What can I put the least amount of energy into and get the highest return back for it? That's how I operate. So that's kind of how I like to look at things. And one thing that I've noticed just in the last day, because of the existential crisis I was having inside my head, was the phone thing. Because I'm just like, okay, how much time am I spending on my phone? Like, and I was just thinking about, cause I'm like, okay, I'm working, like I'll be editing a video, but I'll be on my phone, I'm editing a video. I will be doing a podcast, not a podcast. I'll be doing the photo shoot, and then I'll be editing while I'm doing the photo shoot, and just different. Honestly, here's how I knew it was crazy. This is what really like cemented it for me. Not cemented it, but reminded me of the problem. When I'm watching a TV show and I'm using my phone, that every time that happens and I notice it happening, I'm kind of like, what are you doing? They turn the TV off. But it's like, nah, I don't want to miss it. But it's like, you're on your phone. You can't watch the TV and be on your phone. But it's like, and sometimes I've been watching Peaky Blinders like the last couple of days, and it's a decent show. So it actually allowed me to watch it without having to pick up my phone. And when I was doing that, I'm like, okay, I don't have to pick up my phone to like watch Netflix. Like, I could order whatever. And I'm like, okay, how much time I spend on my phone? I'm like, all right, my screen time normally says like 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, sometimes 9+ hours a day. And I just start doing just like regular basic math. I'm like, okay, if I'm sleeping for 8 hours and then I'm on my phone for 9, that is 17 hours right there. So I'm like, I only have 7 hours left to work. And I'm like, that's if I'm sitting down for 7 hours fully working, which obviously not happening because I'm not on my phone for a complete 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever. So that means that every hour of the day takes like 20 minutes to go to my phone, or 30 minutes or whatever, and it kind of just breaks up the consistency of me working, or the focus that I have when I'm working. So like I said, something that came to me last night when I was up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, just trying to figure something to do. And I'm like, you know what I would do? I think what I would start doing is buying one of them, you ever see them child boxes for phones, where I'd put my phone in there and it have like a lock on it with the timer, and just put my phone in there for like 6-7 hours or something. Because if I'm being completely honest, I don't need my phone, right? I don't really need my phone. Now, a lot of the things I can do from my computer. I can post from my computer. I can text Melissa from my computer. I can FaceTime from my computer. Like, there's not really necessity for me to have my phone, really. And today showed that. As y'all saw, it's 7 o'clock, and I was on my phone for 4 hours for the whole day so far. And the reason why it's crazy is because I woke up this morning, right? And I was on my phone for I felt like at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours I was on my phone. So if I woke up this morning and I was probably up like 8 o'clock maybe, right? And I'm on my phone in the morning time. And then for the next 12 hours, I'll use my phone for almost 4 hours. That means that I was not using my phone for several hours at a time, right? And I go, okay, well, how did that happen? Well, we feel like I have to use my phone all the time. Why is that? I said, okay, you know what you can do today, Donovan? Because I had this very large existential crisis. I'm just like, I feel like we're working, but it's not moving the needle. And I can never tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't want to do busy work where I'm like, okay, we're doing stuff, we're moving around, but we're not getting anything. And that kind of is what it felt like we were doing the craft fair a little bit, where we're working, but we're just in a circle. We're like, okay, we worked, we go to the craft fair, we made $1,000 in a day. Woo! We made $1,000 in the next day too. Woo! We made $2,000 in the weekend. Okay, woo, that's great. And then Monday comes and we got to spend $1,200, and we're like, okay, we got $800 left. Woo! And then Tuesday comes and we're like, okay, we got to spend $500. Okay, we're like, damn, we only have $300 left. And then we're like, all right, cool, we got $300 left. And then it's Wednesday and it's like, okay, damn, we got to spend $150. And it's like, damn, we just made $2,000 last weekend. How we got $150? What the fuck that happened? Right? And I'm like, but we felt like we was working. We was making candles, prepping candles. We're going to the craft fair, get on the train, selling at the craft fair, and we're having people come. We're doing all this stuff, and then we have no money next week. And they're like, "What the fuck? How is this possible? How is this possible? This is crazy." So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. I want to feel like the work is meaningful. I want to feel like it's actually causing some type of something. Like it don't have to be, oh, we posted a picture and now we got 1,000 sales. But I want to see like, okay, we're at least getting better at posting pictures or making pictures. We're getting better at taking pictures. We're getting better at working on a website. We're getting better at whatever we're doing. It's like, okay, we can see the growth of what we're doing. We're consistently posting. We're consistently doing these things, and we can see something coming from it, even if it's good or bad. Because at least if it's bad, we know like this is not working. This does not work. Okay, this works though. Let's do more of that, but let's do less of that. But if we're like doing stuff, right, but not seeing anything, it's like, all right, this is kind of tough. How do we know to keep doing this? So that's kind of where we've been at least for me. I know for sure I've been there. And the thing that I've realized the most, and I tell Melissa this all the time, whenever we have a conversation about these things, I say we have to keep doing what we're doing, because whenever we have these conversations or we have these moments where we're like, is this working? Are we doing it right? Like, should we do something else? It's like, okay, we'll walk through the idea of whatever we could be doing. All right. Like right now we're doing mostly like kind of like YouTube and like shorts and stuff for TikTok, whatever. Right. And online website, whatever. So it was a time where it's like, okay, let's do more fairs. We're not making enough money. Let's do more fairs, right? But in the process of doing that, it comes back to we have to then make more money. We have to then sell more. We have to then create more candles or find more fairs or apply for more fairs. That was last year. Now it's like, okay, there's 7 platforms, 8 platforms, 9, 10 platforms. You got LinkedIn, you got Pinterest, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got Etsy, you got Amazon, you got Fair, right? You got your own website. You have all the different platforms. You got Twitter. Did I say YouTube? I don't know if I say YouTube. You got all the different, you got Google Ads. I just named like 10, 12 platforms, right? And it's like, okay, well, we're doing something, we're working on it, and then somebody comes and goes, oh, we might see a video on YouTube. How I made $10,000 with Pinterest in a month. And we're like, well, we could do that. We could do Pinterest. And we're watching the video, and then we'll see, I'm a top 5 seller on Etsy. Look how I made $25,000 last month. We're like, I could do that too. So they're watching that video, and then we get an email from Amazon. Here's $500 in free ad credits. Do you want to use your ads on Amazon? And we're like, well, we could use the ads they gave us and run them, but then it's like, okay, this is where the problem comes in, right? We're like, all right, boom. We're using the ads from Amazon. We go on Amazon and they go, your website, your listing needs more information. You need to have more pictures. You need to have more words. You need to have more reviews. And we're like, okay, let's work on getting more reviews from Amazon. Let's work on getting more words and pictures for Amazon, right? We're doing that. And then it's like, oh, this person made $20,000 on Fair. That's a wholesale. You ever heard about wholesaling? You could just have somebody buy 100 candles at one time. And we're like, ooh, that would be great. If someone bought 100 candles at one time, that'd be great. You know what? Let's go to Fair and let's try and build a website over there on Fair. So we go over there and they go, hey, your website is trash. Your listing is trash. You need more pictures, more words, and more stuff. And we're like, okay. So then we're like, I get a friend. He goes, yo, bro, listen, bro. I'm making $50,000 a month on TikTok shop right now. All you got to do is use influencers. And we're like, I could do that. Okay, influencers. Let's try that one out. So we hit up the influencers and we're like, can you make us some content? They make us content and then it's trash. And we're like, right? What is, we're like, how we end up in the same boat again, right? So the reason why I said earlier is like, just keep doing what we're doing is because it's like, we know that every single platform is going to ask for more or less the same stuff. You need to have pictures of your product that are good. You need to have descriptions that are good. You need to have consistency in terms of like color and stuff on your website. You need to have a good heading image. And you pretty much need to have reviews. Those are those things you need, right? So we're doing those things. We're getting the reviews. We're getting the pictures. We're getting the descriptions. And we can put them on every single platform, right? But it takes time to get their reviews in terms of what we're going to write on there, to take the pictures and edit them and say, okay, let's try a different type of style of picture. Let's try this angle. Let's try that angle, right? But then it comes down to when you get real granular, how do you even take pictures? Okay, you got to get the camera out. You got to get the lights out. You got to clean the table off to take the pictures, right? You got to get the batteries for the camera because the camera died, right? You do all these things and it's like you just keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. You're like, okay, do I even have a camera to take a picture with? Do I even have a flash to use? Do I even have studio lights? And then you start from there. And it's like, it's that same thing for every single platform that we're doing. So whenever we have these conversations, even if we decide to choose to go with Fair, if we decide to go to Etsy, if we go with Pinterest, if we go with Facebook, if we go with Google, it all comes back to, do you guys have the content? Do you have the pictures? Are you going to post them consistently? Are you going to make new content? Are you going to iterate on the content? And then, because you have two routes. You have the organic, which is just us posting into the ethosphere and hoping something happens. And then you have the paid, where it's like, okay, you're going to have to spend money on this. You have to learn by spending money, right? So every platform has an ads version of it and an organic version of it, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, this is why I hear all the time talk when me and her talk. We got to keep doing what we're doing. We know what to do. We're doing the stuff. We're doing it. We're making the content. We're taking the pictures. We're improving the product. We're getting feedback from customers. We're getting reviews. We are updating the website. We're updating the different platforms. We're changing the pictures and stuff. We're looking at what's working, what's not working. We're doing all that stuff. So it's like the only difference would be to like focus on another platform and do it over there. That'd be the only difference. To try to take this that we're doing over here and put over there. So like I said, that's why it's a weird feeling, because your brain knows one thing, but your body feels something else. You're like, I know I should be doing this one thing, but I could be doing the other thing. And that's where we kind of been at. So like I said, half the battle is just staying on track with one thing. And I hear a lot of Mr. Beast, and I commend him for it, because they talk about him all the time, where his whole thing, even when he was younger, he was just like, I'm making YouTube videos. Mr. Beast, can you come? Nah, I don't want to play baseball. I'm making YouTube videos. Well, I have a girlfriend who wants to talk to you. I make YouTube videos. Well, I gave you $10,000 to come over here and make an Etsy store for me. Is it a YouTube video? No, I'm not doing that. I'm doing YouTube videos. YouTube videos. Now, right? He'll take that same video from YouTube, put it on Twitter, and make $250,000 from it. Not because he knows Twitter algorithm, not because he's been studying how to hack Twitter. It's because he just makes YouTube videos. And I'm like, okay, that means that the secret is none of the algorithms are important, right? But more or less the algorithms are telling you for the most part, until you start getting like really high and talking about political stuff or whatever. For the most part, the algorithm and the retention charts show you what people like and what they don't like. That's pretty much it. So you will be studying we will be studying that. What do people like that we do? Let's do more of that. And it's for every platform. It's every single platform that has a video that's the same thing. Why do they like it? No, then change it. They do like it, keep doing more of that. and then try different things. See if this works, see if that works, and just keep doing that. That's what these are the conflicts I have with myself, right? Y'all are just here with me in my head while I'm having this conversation. This is what I talk to myself like all the time. Like, okay, Donovan, just keep focusing on doing the one thing. Everything's coming up. I know this popped up, that popped up, that popped up. Try and stay laser focused on doing this one thing. That right now is half of the battle that we have. Probably like 70% of the battle that we have, to be really honest with you. But speaking of the candle business, updates that we have in the candle business. So we have finally, I can't say we finally did it. We have found a new vessel for the small size candle, right? So it looks a lot better than the other one. It is a little bit smaller, but it looks better. We have a new wick that makes the candle last ridiculously long. Like, it's ridiculous how long the candle lasts with the wick and the size of the candle. And it probably lasts 30 something hours. Maybe, honestly, it burns at 2 grams an hour. That's what it burns at. So it's 65 grams and it's about 30 something grams an hour. That 30 grams, it's about 35 hours of burn time, roughly, something in that ballpark. For a candle that's this little, it lasts longer than the other one we had, basically. So it's just crazy. It's just a crazy thing. But we noticed that when people come to the website, we believe that that first image that they see turns them off of the product, because first of all, it doesn't have a white background. That's number one. Okay, it's like a very white background, but it does not match the website background, so it looks kind of funny. It doesn't look like it was taken recently. It looks like it doesn't match the rest of our website at all. It just looks like it was what we used to have. It just doesn't match. We have upgraded everything about the brand except the tins, to be honest with you, and we stopped selling them months ago. But the master plan, okay, here's a master plan, the master splinter plan. I told you that my guy is doing 50, probably more than that now, 100K a month, 70K a month on TikTok Shop, right? I keep telling you, I don't have to do that much on TikTok Shop. If we were consistently doing, which I think is crazy to even say it out loud, if we were doing like $1,000 or $2,000-$3,000 a month on TikTok Shop a month, that would be amazing. Like right now, that would be amazing to do that from TikTok Shop. But what I've noticed from when we did the lives and hearing him and seeing his product is like $7. He's selling mind you, he's making 50K a month on products that are like $7, $9, or whatever. And I'm like, damn, if that's the case, I think that our products are too high priced, at least for a newcomer, right? So I also think that TikTok, the way it operates, I think I said this last week on the podcast, you're not buying expensive things unless they're at a very big discount. So you might spend $100 on something if it actually costs, $1,500. So now that we have the small candle, we're going to charge like $20 for it, right? And I think that it's small enough and price wise for someone to just be like, you know what, I'll try it out. I'll get it real quick, light it, and what's the big investment? So now, before we didn't have the candle, it finally came in the mail, we tested it out, it's great. Melissa's gonna be buying the labels today. So we have the perfume labels are coming, we're calling them little treats right now. Those candles are coming, the labels for those, and then the only thing we don't really have a label for right now is the room spray bottles, but they're coming also. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's a trillion things to do. There's so many little things to do, but do I think that adding the label to the perfume bottle will cause the sales to go up dramatically? No, but I think it will help. I think having a brand, especially for pictures, because now the problem we have is when you come on the website, we have one perfume bottle, but we have multiple scents of it. And it's like, I feel like it's always better to have each individual product have its own page. So it looks weird, but the pictures look nice right now, but it's the words that's not hitting that's the way it's supposed to. So we're working on that. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. That's all we do is we're working on it. We just a little tweak and 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 tweak. That's what it feels like. It's just like I feel like Roddy Ricch. And you just do that over and over and over again. So man, like I said that. But this morning, I definitely did not feel how I feel now. I feel a lot better now because I did not use my phone. Like Melissa went out to the city because she's working on her own project, which, like I said, is we're doing everything that we have to do. We have a list, right? If I gave you, like, let's say we had a list of 5 things to do, right? Each one of those 5 things have a sub list of like 25 things to do on them. And that's the annoying part. It's like, okay, she right now she's trying to make a refill candle, like the mold for the refill candle. So we just found out that, or she found out and then told me that when you're making the refill, the what do they call it? Syphilis. What is it called? What is the
sulfur?
No, not that. What is the material called?
Clay?
No, the other one. The one that's not working.
Silicone?
Yes, silicone. The silicone, right, depending on what it's touching, may not solidify. So there's like a whole list of ingredients that it cannot come in contact with or it won't get solid. So it's like maybe, but here's the thing. You don't really know because also, correct me if I'm wrong, it depends on the silicone.
No. It's not that it depends on the silicone. The list of things that it that causes it to not be solid is kind of abstract, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say if aluminum is one of them, right? If there's some trace amount of aluminum on my gloves, on the clay that I'm using, boom, now it's not working. How I'm gonna know if there's aluminum on it or not?
Bruh, that's right. That shit's crazy. And it's like you'll use something and then you'll be like, all right, this should work, and then it don't. And you gotta try something else, you're like, this should work, and then it don't. And you gotta read the labels like, oh, this has sulfur in it. You're like, what the fuck? Then you gotta find something that don't have sulfur in it. And
sometimes it don't even say it on the label. It don't say it on the label. You just you see the reaction.
It's like it's
reactions
wet.
Happening. It's like, man, this is not solid. Okay, now I gotta try something else.
Bruh. And that's this is the idea was we should have a refill candle. That's what we said. We should have a refill candle. Then it was like, okay, let's make a refill candle because you got to make it to have it, right? Then it was honestly, it wasn't even that. It was like, okay, people don't buy the candle frequently enough, and we think that people think the price might be too high, so we should have a refill option. That's what it came. That's how it started. Then it was, well, let's make a refill candle. Then it was, let's try to make it ourselves. Well, let's try to make it. Then it was like, okay, how do we do that? Then it was like, you need these ingredients for it. Then after that, it's like, okay, I had the ingredients. How do I do it? And then it's just all these little things, right? And then finally, whenever Melissa finally solved the problem of making the refill candle, then it's like, now she has to make multiple of them. Then we have to test them. Then we have to do photo shoots for them. Then we have to post them and make content for them. We're nowhere even near that part. We're literally just at making it work. Just make it so that you can actually take it out and put it in. That is what Melissa's been working on for the last couple of days. And man, like I said, this morning I definitely felt worse than I do now. I feel better. Oh, that's all I was saying. Because I've literally just been, I've been working today. Like I've been actively and consciously and intentionally not using my phone. And I will send Melissa messages from my laptop. I will go on YouTube on my laptop. I just will not use my phone because there's too much stuff on there for me to get caught up in. Like it's too. You know what I really hate? This is what I really hate. I hate when I'm like, damn, how many points did LeBron have last night? Let me go check. Oh, Instagram. Let me see if
man.
Let me see if anybody wrote us. Oh wow, that's a candle company. I wonder what they're doing with their candles. Melissa, did you see this picture of them with the candles? You did see this? Isn't that crazy that they're doing that? Wow, I wonder how many other candle companies do it. Let me look at some other candle companies. Let me Google them. Go to their website. Wow, they're using a quiz. That's a good looking quiz. We should use that quiz. You know what? Let me go on X and see if they have any other quiz people on here that use quizzes. Okay, search quiz on X. Nothing. Oh, YouTube has people that definitely talk about this. Okay. Oh, here's a good quiz. A review of quizzes for your website. Okay, so you got Klaviyo and you got VGB quiz. And then I'm like, that's great. Then I see a picture on the side of the video that says LeBron James points. I'm like, God damn it. I was supposed to be looking at LeBron James points from last night. How did I end up all the way over here doing this? And then I'll go to LeBron James. I click on the NBA.com and I'll go, this guy in the San Antonio Spurs is doing pretty well. Look at his stats. And now I never get to LeBron stats. And I'm just like, bruh, and in each of those situations, it might be 10, 15 minutes. I'm on each app looking at different stuff, just scrolling. And that's not, honestly, that number I gave you is probably not even including the scroll. That's me looking for something. I'm on there looking for something. Then if I do scroll, right, now I'm scrolling. But before I do want to preface this with this. I have successfully, in the last 5 months, only scrolled one time on a short form video. Once. I have not scrolled more than one. There was only one that happened like this week, because I scrolled up somebody talking about taxes. I said, let me read that real quick or watch that video. But other than that, I have, for several months, I have not scrolled on one short form piece of content. That's crazy. So I only scroll on Twitter, just scrolling tweets. That's it. But when I get on there, I'm scrolling for sure. There on YouTube, I'll scroll on YouTube to watch videos, not shorts though. But like I said, so with all of that, it showed me that my phone is not as important as I think it is. And if I have my laptop, I should be fine for the most part. Phones have phone calls, which can last several hours. Phones have a lot of other distractions that are on there. It's beeping, it's vibrating. My laptop don't vibrate. My laptop has never said, hey, Donovan, come use me. It's never happened. It doesn't vibrate. I don't get the phantom vibrations from my laptop, because I hate that with my phone. I be thinking my phone vibrating, it's not. And I'm like, it's nowhere near me. I'm like, nah, this is not okay. Like, and then you have the whole problem of sleeping with your phone next to your head. I can go on forever about that. So this time for you guys' favorite segment of Le Podcast. It is the League of Villains segment. Facts. Woo! League of Villains. Oh, you ready? Okay.
Me like you do. One look in my eyes, you know I'm lying. All right, I'm in a good mood today. Hello, guys. Okay, so there's actually a lot to talk about. Let's see, where do we start? So, my course, my UX UI course. So, as you guys know, I'm taking the UX UI course. There are 7. It's a class. Let's say it's a UX UI class, right? Within this class, there are 7 courses. Each course has 4 modules, right? And I tend to do a module a day just to like keep things moving, but not, be overwhelmed, or like still have time to make sure other things that I need to get done also get done. And depending, like if it's short or not, I might do more than 1 module in a day, but typically I do 1 module a day and keep it pushing. So right now I am on my 6th course and I have completed my 2nd module. I am currently on module number 3, right? So with that math, on average, there's 4. So there was one course, I think it was my 5th course, actually had 5 modules, and the last course has 3, right? So right now, once I finish the third module, I have 4, then 1, 2, 3 again. So I have 4 modules left, right? That's how close I am. 4, that's within a week. I do 1 module a day. 4, right? So I'm on module 3. Okay, so how this works is I am building a case study and kind of building a portfolio within UX UI. So that is doing usability studies, that's creating paper drawings, it's creating wireframes, low fidelity wireframes, is creating mock-ups. So pretty much it's like doing case studies and all that stuff, and then iterating, going back, showing the iterations that you made. In addition to, you're creating a report with your design decisions to explain why you're doing certain things, right? You'll have profiles of people who would be the target audience of your product, blah, blah, blah. And you're putting all of this stuff in this report. So the most important things that I wanted to learn from this course is learning how to use Figma. Figma you can use to build apps, to build websites and stuff like that. And so that was my main focus as to using completing this course, right? Now, I have done all the coursework pertaining to learning how to use Figma. I've done it. What's left now is literally like how to get a job. The last course
is how to get a job, how to apply for UX UI positions. The course that I'm on right now is literally like kind of stepping into that and kind of finishing, like just reviewing everything, like reviewing what's supposed to be in your portfolio. So yeah, that's what it is. It's reviewing what's supposed to be in your portfolio so that you can then move on to the next course, which is like, okay, how do you set up your resume? How do you speak to recruiters? How do you get the UX UI job, right? I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm not trying to get the UX UI job. So, okay, this is what I encountered. Pretty much they asked me for, like, it's a peer review assignment that's asking for the documents that you should have, like, accumulated during the duration of you doing the course. It's like, okay, you need a user, a report of someone testing out your app. Like, that needs to be in there. It's a good 15 to 20 documents that needs to be in this portfolio. Me, I don't have that. I have probably half of it. I realized after a certain point, y'all not asking me for nothing. Like, they're not checking anything. They're just like, oh, did you do it? I would just put, yeah, sure, I did it. But I understand the concepts. I understand how to do it, and that's the most important thing to me. So, all right. The reason why I was trying to, I was really, like, locked in, like I said, I wanted to learn how to use Figma, and I wanted to complete this course so that I could move on to my next course that I have set up, and that is a pitch course that's supposed to help with, like, storytelling, getting grants, and stuff like that. That is something I really, 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 really want to get to, but I wanted to finish one thing first before I move on to the other. Now they're asking me for documents that I don't have and I don't feel like I need in order to move forward with the candles business. The last day I have to complete this, like, to complete all the assignments within the course is in April. And I think the position that we're in right now, it's not that important for me to finish the course. So I am putting a pin in the course. I now only have 4 modules left, but like I said, I would have to go back in and dedicate time to putting, like, that will only benefit me if I go into the field of UX UI, and that is not what I'm doing. So I'm putting a pin in it, boop, and we're going to start a new course. I'm going to start the it's called Power to Pitch. I'm going to start that, and that is going to help me craft the next thing that I'm trying to get to, which is the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter, I need to be fired so we could get the money. So that is what I'm aiming for. That's my goal, is getting that Kickstarter done. Because if we could get a decent amount of funds from that Kickstarter, y'all, it's up. So that's the trajectory of what I see right now. Let's get into the silicone madness, right? So I've explained before what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create candle refills. It's 3 steps. To simplify, is 3 steps, right? Step 1, create a cast of whatever thing I'm trying to make. In this instance, it would be the inside of this vessel, right? So that's step 1. I've completed step 1, right? Made it out of clay. Step 2 would be to take that hard model, put it into the silicone, right? And that'll create the silicone mold that I would then use for step 3 to actually pour the wax into, and then boop, pop out a candle, right? So silicone, like we said earlier, don't play well with other substances. Like, it just doesn't. So you're not even supposed, I think it doesn't play well with latex, but I don't use latex gloves. But yeah, it doesn't play well with latex. You can't do certain resins with it. You can't do, like, in order to like, create a silicone mold, like go from the liquid silicone to solid to then use that for, like, soap making, candle making, like, it really is a whole list of things. And then it could become contaminated and poisoned by these other, like, substances, and it will no longer work. Very annoying. I got this clay like Crayola clay. Was looking at it. Ain't said nothing about no sulfur. Apparently there might be sulfur in it because it doesn't definitively say that there's no sulfur in it. So it's just I went to Blick today, Blick Art Supplies, and they have the fancy clays and stuff. Like, that's a real art store. You know, they got all the stuff. So I saw Monster Clay in there, which I also heard will work, but Monster Clay is $30. So I'm like, okay, they have a cheaper clay that's only like $3, and it is it's sulfur free. And I looked it up online. It's supposed to work with silicone. So we'll see. I've also learned from my past mistakes. They say that instead of like, because I had bought the clay before and I went and made the mold and everything, waited a couple days and all that stuff. I don't really have to do all of that. I need to make sure that the whatever substance I'm about to use to make the mold works with the silicone. So that's what I'm doing now. I put a little bit of silicone onto the clay to see if it'll actually set and see if it'll actually harden. So we'll see what happens with that. Once this test is done, I would know at like 10 o'clock, so another 2 hours, whether or not this is going to set properly, and then I can remove it and do whatever else I need to do, like actually go in and then make the mold and then make the bigger batch of silicone to then repeat the product. Like, I could actually start doing that. So excited to see how that goes. I also have to repaint vessels because Donovan is going to be selling outside. It rained, and that made the appearance of the vessels here ashy. Like, it looks dusty. Like, I wouldn't buy nothing from that. So I also went to Michael's today. I bought paint. I bought Mod Podge. But apparently, like, I went to the Michael's on 14th Street, so that's apparently, like, that's everybody's Michael's. So they barely had Mod Podge. So there's like a Mod Podge spray that's like a sealant and waterproof, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna be using that. Another thing too, back to the first thing about making the refill. Oh, another thing with clay, they said that I can also like seal it. So use a sealant like Mod Podge and then try to do the then try to make the silicone mold. They also said I can paint it and then try to make the silicone mold. So like Donovan was saying earlier, like there's a couple different iterations. Listen, I will use cement if I have to. I am going to figure this out. I'm going to. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, so I have to repaint the vessels. I bought the Mod Podge, just a spray, so I'm gonna spray that. Hopefully it'll seal the paint, waterproof it, and therefore, like, if it rains again or something like that, I shouldn't have to paint them again because I sealed it with the Mod Podge. That's pretty much what I'm going for. I also won't be surprised if it don't work because it's not actual, like, it's not the Mod Podge that I went out to get. You know, it's another Mod Podge product. So I have a Fitbit now. I don't know what I would call that, to make my craziness physical. I don't really know, but either way, I love it. I love being able to. I feel like I'm playing a game. I feel like I'm playing Zelda. It tells me how many steps I took, how many calories I burned, my sleep score. My sleep score be trashed. And I'll go back to sleep and it'll be better. I'm like, okay, fine. Because I would have woke up at 6 hours. Listen, me, I want to look just like this when I'm 55. When I'm 60, I'm going to look just like this. That's the plan. Oh, yeah, because that's another thing, too. We've been eating healthier. And I feel like I've been getting a hang of kind of making the EBT last. Because that's a whole thing in itself. So yeah, we've been eating healthier, like lots of hemp seeds. There's tea. Been eating a lot of kale, salmon, and like smoothies. We've been doing smoothies and stuff now. So it's just pretty cool. Like I said, I like being able to get the hang of a routine and getting the hang of like not starving all the time. So that's cool. But yes, I'm very much enjoying the Fitbit, and one of my favorite things I'll be talking with Donovan. Let's say whatever thing we're talking about might get, like, I won't know until my Fitbit be like, hey, are you stressed? Or I'll just be minding my business. I'll just be sitting on the bed or something, and then it'd be like, hey, there was a blip here. What was that? And I have to go back in my brain and think, like, was I thinking something that made me like stress out a little bit or something? And it's just so funny because I wasn't thinking that before. And then there's this cool thing that they have, like, it's called mindfulness. So let's say that happens, it'll ask me like, hey, is something going on? And I'll answer. It'll ask me how I'm feeling, and I'll choose, from the words, and then I might do a 2-minute breathing session, something that, I almost like never do. When the hell do I stop what I'm doing, do a breathing session? I just don't. So yeah, that's been pretty cool, and I've been enjoying it a lot. Donovan has been taking photography, like he's been taking product photos. I've been editing them, and they're coming out pretty freaking cool, which I'm excited about. I'm getting better at using the AI to create AI photos, and I have a yearly subscription for Skillshare, and so yeah, we had got it for the year. I want to go on there and learn how to use Photoshop as well, like, because there's so much more tools and things like that. Like things I want to learn specifically. One is like color grading, and kind of understanding it better at a fundamental level, like being able to explain it to somebody else, as opposed to like I want to know it that well that I could, as opposed to like sometimes I'll go on YouTube and I'll follow the steps and I'll get the result that I'm trying to get from going on YouTube, but I don't know what I actually did, so that's why I want to learn Photoshop on a more fundamental level, so that I can like manipulate it and kind of like let my creativity come out that way once I know how to use the tools. So I'm excited for that. What else? I think those are the main things. I haven't been looking into programs or grants or anything like that yet, because I wanted to take the Power to Pitch course so that I could go into it like knowing exactly what I'm trying to do, and knowing exactly like knowing the language to use and stuff like that. I'm very excited to finally start this course. Like I really, really am. ASMR. We could do this on TikTok. Listen to my candle crackle. Oh, that was bad. Sorry. It's so fire. This is a perfect melt pool too. Like I was scared. This is perfect. This is a perfect way. Okay, so this is our little treat. A little treat candle. And for a size reference, this is our signature size. Yep. So this is a 2.5. This is a 12. So, and we're just, like Donovan said, we're doing the things. This, I think, is going to be a game changer. I think this candle right here will allow us to have so much more movement and so much more options and opportunities with the candles. And the reason why I say that is because of the pricing of it, because the tins, it just doesn't give you the same luxurious feeling as everything else on the website. I think that might be like the mole of the website, the tins, and it's honestly of the brand too. It's just not on brand, but it's how we started. That's how we got here. So now that we have this option, and it's at a reasonable price, $65 for a candle is not a regular price. Like that is a higher priced candle. It's a premium candle. So we've run into retailers or different people that it's kind of like, damn, I don't really want to sell the tins because they don't look as good. And I would love to sell these big ones, but I am not confident in my ability to get $65 for it. Like that's how other people feel about it, right? And it is what it is. We put it in Flying Solo with no marketing materials, no nothing, and people still bought it. It was just one or two though. But still, it's totally understandable. So that's why I'm super excited, because honestly, I don't even think we had a 7 ounce at the time when we were like trying to kind of get the candles into stores and stuff. We literally only had the 10s and the 12 ounces. So I think having the 2.5 and the 7 ounce to market to people, oh my God, it's just gonna go crazy. It's a reasonable price candles. Like, if you're in the candle space and you be buying candles, like, you're not gonna bat an eye at a $30 candle. Like, that's kind of standard for you at this point, right? And then with the burn time and with marketing materials that will actually let you know what the benefits of these candles are, that from the scent to the composition of the candles to the wick and how it crackles and and the vibe and everything, like, yeah, you'd get that $30 candle. So like I said, I'm super excited. I think this will allow us, like, to open more doors and kind of bring more things in. So man, but like different product options, like bundles and stuff like that. We could do an advent calendar with this. It's just so much that could be done. So I honestly feel like I have more. I don't feel lost anymore. I feel like I have a stronger sense of direction, I guess, as to what not necessarily what we're working towards, but just like how things will pan out. It's just doing this stuff.
One thing that Melissa and I talked about recently, honestly not recently, it's like before the podcast. I say this a lot, and I guess I'll be talking to myself, I guess, just trying to motivate myself to get myself to do it more. Just move faster. Just move faster and move faster, move faster, move faster, move faster, move faster. That's it. Because like I said, we're doing stuff, and I think that you hear that candle? So I think that one of the reasons why I felt lost this morning and kind of floating around is because I didn't have right, because Melissa wasn't here, that's why I felt lost. Is I didn't have direction, and I felt like that is like I had so many things that I could do, but nothing on my plate to do. So it's like, okay, I can just pick something and do it, but at the time I'm pretty much sitting in a sea of things to do, and I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just moving around like, okay, I could just do this, or I could do that, I could just do something, right? And once I chose something, it made it easier, but I think that the main source of that feeling I had was that lostness, just whatever feeling of floating around. So what I had told Melissa was, we know we should do. It's a million things, maybe 999,000 things. And I said, we should do all of it in a week, right? Y'all know how I get. That's my vibe. That's how I go. But I think once I said it, it gave me an urgency, and it also gave me a, like, okay, that's the plan. So now formulate a plan around that. Because before it was the craft fairs. It's very easy for that. It's very easy to come up with a plan for the craft fairs. Like, find more craft fairs, find the money for the craft fairs, sell at the craft fairs, try and find people that can help you do the craft fairs, get enough materials as far as tables for the craft fair. That was pretty easy. But with the e-commerce, we're still in the baby phase of it. We don't really know like what button to press that will make us just make a lot of money. We don't have that yet, so we're working on that. But I think that everything we're doing is going to work, but I think if we can shorten that time to like I said, if we were to succeed in doing everything we have to do in 1 week, that means the following week we would have nothing to do. But I think it would get us a bigger return faster. Cause we're like, okay, we did everything is done. What can we do next? Let's do everything again for this whole week. Let's try that again. And I think that's kind of what I want to do. So we're gonna see if it works next week. We're gonna try and just do everything that we have on our list. I don't know what's on her to-do list. Do you have a to-do list? Like, what's your to-do list?
It's the pitch course. It's definitely learning how to do Photoshop. Like I said, on a more I don't even know what you call that. Like an academic level. I really don't know what you call that. So there's that. It's the prototype. It's, I think you need to like wildest dreams, heart's desires, like what I'm trying to do, or like,
sure. What's that?
I definitely feel something keeps telling me SEO, so I really want to do that too.
I'm listening.
What else? It's SEO. I kind of want to post on Pinterest.
Sure. What does SEO mean? What do you mean? Like you want to do SEO?
Like I wanna SEO up the website. So like the photos, like adding like
sure. You're there in a week.
Metadata or whatever for the photos.
Sure.
And adding more keywords and fixing the description or like the titles and stuff, like just optimizing everything SEO wise. Yeah. So I was thinking about that. Oh, I want to post more blog posts. It's kind of more consistently too. Like I'm thinking like knocking out 7, but just putting them to auto post and let them do what they do. And I also think that'll help the SEO, and I can kind of like I already have a framework of how to do that and kind of just streamline that. I would say I think that's pretty much it.
So yeah, all I can be done in a week. So yeah.
I only have 2 good weeks, so
right.
2 good weeks.
Right. I think next week is your last good week.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're probably gonna be either ovulating and want to have sex or on your period. So.
Redacted.
We'll be back here next week. You know what it is. Hashtag Bamboo Project 2024. It's all about changing your environment. Changing our environment. Changing my environment. Changing her environment. It's environment. I always want to change myself. And I focus on myself first. Now I'm going to change myself by changing my environment. And with that being said, Bamboo Project out.